Send the police now!
Hello and welcome to I've Seen Everything, where the name is ironic and the reactions are... Happy holidays once again to all of you wonderful people here on the I've Seen Everything channel. I'm joined once again by my tree.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother.
This is week 3, the final week of our holiday movies over here. And for this week, I think we can all agree we have a doozy. The only favorite reaction to win one of their holiday polls, meaning that I've seen this movie but we love this movie, is Die Hard. If you talk about classic action movies, Die Hard essentially has to be part of the conversation. So to address the elephant wearing a Santa hat in the room, we are doing Die Hard here as part of our holiday movies. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? But to ask a more important question, who cares? I've heard people talk about this, go back and forth. Is it a Christmas movie? Isn't it a Christmas movie? To be honest, for the years and years that I saw Die Hard, until I first heard this question raised a few years ago, I never thought of it as a Christmas movie. That doesn't mean it can't be one, and I understand all the points. It does take place at Christmas. To be fair, there is a fair amount of Christmas stuff injected into the humor of the movie, into the setting of the movie. They're at a Christmas party that's taken over. So I say, do whatever you want to do when it comes to Die Hard being a Christmas movie or not being a Christmas movie. Makes no difference to me. Enjoy it how you will. But because there are so many people who consider it one, and I would say that Lethal Weapon falls into that category then too, we have decided to include it here as part of the holiday movies on I've Seen Everything. So, obviously I've seen this movie before. I enjoy this movie as anyone else does. It's a classic action movie. Very enjoyable from start to finish. It's really hard to pick out a false note in this movie if you're looking for a good action movie. Aside from obviously this being one of Bruce Willis's most notable film roles that he played 5 times total over the course of his career, to varying degrees of quality that we will not get into on this video. There's also an amazing cast supporting him. Alan Rickman is incredible as a villain in this movie. Reginald VelJohnson, who plays the officer who comes to his aid after the distress call, is obviously a favorite, at least for me, because I grew up watching Family Matters. There's just not very much to dislike about this movie. If you have things that you really don't like about this movie, please go ahead and leave them down in the comments for me. Let me know. Anyway, let's not waste another moment talking about watching the movie instead of watching the movie. Let's watch Die Hard. But if you'd be so kind, before we get going here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe buttons down there. Click the bell so you can see when I'm putting out new videos. And here we go, folks. 1988's classic, iconic action movie and apparently Christmas movie, Die Hard. Who broke the 20th Century Fox logo? Squished it. Someone's a little nervous.
You don't like flying, do you?
Gives you that idea.
I don't know. Maybe the white knuckling on the armrest there?
After you get where you're going, take off your shoes and your socks. Then you walk around on the rug barefoot and make fists with your toes.
How many people have tried that after watching this movie? Because I have to say that I did. It works okay. You know, it's not bad. You're getting your shoes off, getting your circulation going. Be careful who you tell to make fists with their toes.
It's okay, I'm a cop. Trust me, been doing this for 11 years.
I don't know if that relieves him a lot more. He might be making fists with his fists. It's funny, but it does kind of sound like a weird, ominous version of Sleigh Bells. Reginald VelJohnson. Definitely one of my primary TV dads. Someone is working through the Christmas party.
Hey, Holly. What about dinner tonight, huh?
Harry, it's Christmas Eve.
Are we to believe that she's ever given this guy the time of day? I don't remember. I can't imagine anybody thinking this guy was someone they wanted to spend time with.
Think the baby can handle a little sip? That baby's ready to tend bar.
Yeah, you know, you're pregnant, about to deliver, start doing shots.
Lucy McLean speaking.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead looks different.
Is Daddy coming home with you?
Well, we'll see what Santa and Mommy can do.
That's got to be tough for little kids who don't understand what's going on. I mean, it's hard enough if you do understand what's going on.
Hola, Mrs. Oli.
It might be a good idea to make up the spare bedroom just in case.
It is an interesting place to have their relationship. She obviously still cares about him. They both obviously still care about each other, but they kind of butt heads a bit too much to have a very just kind of happy and seamless marriage.
It's my first time driving a limo.
It's okay, it's my first time riding in one.
Perfect. You're both equally matched for this.
So your lady live out here?
About the past 6 months.
Meaning you still live in New York?
You always ask us so many questions, Argyle.
Yeah, I know. Jeez. Trying to be sociable, but you're out asking some pretty deep questions here.
You
come on, you divorced? You separated? She beat you up?
Argyle's gonna get punched if he keeps asking the wrong question.
In other words, you thought she wasn't gonna make it out here, and she'd come crawling on back to you, so why bother to pack, right?
I don't know if he's finding the humor in that, Argyle. It's kind of the wreckage of his life.
Got any Christmas music?
This is Christmas music.
I'm with Argyle on this one. Very much Christmas music. If this is a Christmas movie, that's Christmas music.
I'm gonna pull in the parking garage and I'll wait. You score, you give me a call on the car phone. Take your bags to the desk. You strike out, I'll get you a hotel.
You're all right, Argyle.
Nah, Argyle talks a lot, but he is pretty solid. That's honestly, I don't know how he'd get away with that, but you would imagine he's got other jobs, like other people to go pick up. Can't just hang out all night in the limo.
I'm here to see Holly McClane.
Just type it in there.
This is some very good nonverbal storytelling in this movie, as far as where they are in their relationship and everything. Sad. That would definitely hurt, but yeah.
The party. They're the only ones left in the building.
If they're the only ones left in the building, then why couldn't you just told him that? Because they needed to have that device of him putting in the wrong name and stuff.
Champagne, sir?
I think he feels a bit underdressed for this party. And for the champagne. Fancy stuff. They throw a nice party at the Nakatomi Tower. Well, at least they start nice.
It's quite a place you have here.
It will be if we ever get it finished. Still several floors under construction.
I didn't remember that setup with him, that he told him that there were floors that were still under construction, which obviously come into play later.
I was just making a...
I was just snorting a lot of coke in someone else's office.
Holly's husband?
Heard a heck of a lot about you. Missed some.
Yeah, he knows exactly what he was doing. You missed some. Very sneaky.
Throw quite a party. I didn't realize they celebrated Christmas in Japan.
We're flexible.
Who said he's from Japan? He could be American. And also, I'm sure some people celebrate Christmas in Japan. That's really good acting. I feel like moments like that are important. That first moment where you can tell that they're very...
She was made for the business. Tough as nails.
There's still that spark. They're still very excited to see each other. But it's complicated.
Show him the watch.
Later.
Well, go on, show him. What are you, embarrassed?
That seemed a little ominous. Show him the watch.
It's a Rolex. I'm sure I'll see you later.
This guy is just a jackass from every angle, isn't he?
Where are you staying?
Ramona.
Pomona.
John had no idea how far away that is.
Why don't we make it easy? I have a spare bedroom. I mean, it's not huge or anything. Kids would love to have you at the house. I would too.
This is where we start to get into some of the stuff that unfortunately stands in the way. But you can tell there's still love there, which I think is obviously important.
I missed you.
I guess you didn't miss my name, though, huh?
John, you just had to do it. You just had to be a pig-headed guy. You ruined the moment. Way to go.
You are a married woman, Holly. You're married to me.
We're going to have this conversation again.
Yeah, you're going to have that attitude. She never should have taken your name in the first place.
You have a clue as to what my idea of
I
our
know
marriage should be,
exactly what your idea of our marriage should be.
It seems like you think she should take your name and just stay in the shadows of your life, unfortunately.
Mr. Takagi is looking for speech time. Be back in a few minutes.
That was a completely unnecessary fight caused by him. Yeah, you should bang your head against the doorway. That was really stupid.
Great job. Good job. Very mature.
See, he knows, like, right after he does it. Now, if you can just get to where you know before you do it, that's the key. Yeah, in a moment like this, I don't know if they could really know what's happening.
Over to AC. Boom! 2 points.
This is brilliant, too. He comes in having a casual conversation to disarm him. What a introduction shot for Alan Rickman, or Hans Gruber, as it were. Just walk off a container truck like he didn't all get thrown around in there. Nakatomi Tower is locked down. They just don't know it yet. I don't really understand what that was. He was waiting to time that very specifically. If someone understands what that was, tell me. The fist with your toes actually works. Who knew? Well, John hasn't done a lot of traveling like that guy has, so I'm sure he's picked up a thing or two over the years.
Yeah, Argyle. Where are you?
I'm kicking it down in the garage.
What luck that John would actually be on the phone when they cut the phone lines so that he knows right away that something's up.
Hey, Bruder.
Moment.
Okay, this guy's cutting the phone lines. Quite literally. And apparently this guy's not happy about it. Why? Other than just being a jerk? Why? I mean, wasn't the other guy doing what they wanted him to do anyway? Don't mind us, folks. We're just the guys with the machine guns. Oop. Those aren't party favors. That is the guy who played Vigo in Ghostbusters 2. It is such a good plot device to give a reason that he's barefoot and to make that an obstacle that he has to overcome throughout this entire movie. Isn't that woman lucky? She's not in Nakatomi Tower.
Ladies and gentlemen.
It's quite a way to bring a meeting to order. Certainly get people's attention.
Joseph Yoshinobu Takagi, born Kyoto, 1937.
I don't know if a person's biography could seem more menacing. Alan Rickman does this very, very well.
Enough. And father of 5.
That seems even more menacing somehow, like he's threatening his family.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
There wasn't really anything else they could do. I know that Holly was trying to protect him, but like, if he didn't tell him who he was, they were going to start shooting people. John is getting a real backstage look at what they're doing here. He happens to be on the right floors at the right moments when they're coming by with stuff. Certainly getting around pretty well for a guy without any shoes.
You won't be able to blackmail our executive, threaten our profit. Sit down.
He seems to know what he's after, Mr. Takagi, so I would listen.
Because I am interested in the $640 million that you have locked in your vault.
That would be fairly interesting to a thief. Over $600 million in the late 80s.
What kind of are you?
Who said we were The code, please.
Oh, noting these little details that I hadn't picked up before. He specifically just took off the silencer to his gun because he wants those people to hear. He wants them to know. He wants it to help shake them up to make them more pliable to what he needs.
I'm going to count to 3. Get on the jet to Tokyo and ask the chairman. I'm telling you, you just have to kill.
He should not have said that. That was purely set up for that moment. I don't think somebody in that position would have said that. It would have offered that line. Put that idea in the head of the person that's already threatening to kill you.
You can break the code.
You didn't bring me along for my charming personality.
I take it back, though, about what I said about the silencer, because he's several floors up, so I guess they couldn't have necessarily heard the gunshot. But I wonder why he took off his silencer then.
You're calling the police right now.
Of course I'm still coming by late.
John, I think you're overestimating Argyle's abilities here, especially when he's bumping his music.
Why the didn't you stop him, John? Because then you'd be dead too, asshole.
I think talking to yourself is a common response to stressful situations. Helps you process what you're thinking and feeling at the moment.
We've got a fire alarm.
That's a smart idea. At least get some kind of signal out. Good response time. They're already on their way. Didn't take long at all.
Stupid motherfucker! No!
And then the lights go off and they turn around. And the elevator. Things are going bad quickly, John.
The fire has been caught off, my friend.
This guy does more than just cut wires, apparently.
No one is coming to help you. You might as well come out and join the others.
I think he wants to keep whatever little advantage he has as opposed to just waiting for someone to shoot him. And your promise not to hurt him doesn't really count for much when you have a machine gun. And when you do that, it seems like you're pretty intent on hurting him.
Drop it, dickhead. There are rules for policemen. So my captain keeps telling me.
Yeah, this policeman will hurt you, I'm willing to say. Especially when you try to kill him with a machine gun already. Ooh. Right into the drywall. That's gotta sting a bit. The last sound he made. Ah! Well, 1 point on your side of the board, I guess, John. I mean, still pretty impressive for a guy running around without his shoes on. I wonder, I know they've made Die Hard video games. I wonder if they've made like a third person, like open world or like, you know, sandbox thing recently, because this is just like what you do in games anyway, kind of looting for materials, for weapons and different things you can use.
9 million terrorists in the world, and I gotta kill one with feet smaller than my sister.
It is problematic that you can't find anybody that you can get shoes off of.
Alas, your Mr. Takagi did not see it that way, so he won't be joining us for the rest of his life.
That is a great villain line. He won't be joining us for the rest of his life.
But have no illusions, we are in charge.
Yeah, this is gonna put a damper on your villain speech.
Now I have a machine gun.
I mean, that's Christmas movie right there. I don't know. I don't care who you are.
Tell Carl his brother is dead.
Carl, come sofort. Put it upstairs and out of sight.
Hey, when you don't have paper, I mean, he's got to try to collect information somehow. It does feel like a dangerous place to be, John. Carl does not seem to be very happy, which is a bit understandable because it was his brother, but you know.
Something's wrong. John.
Christ, he can this whole thing up. What does he think he's doing?
He can mess the whole thing up. I think it's pretty messed up already.
Well, then we still have a chance. We might be able to get out of here.
Tell that to Takagi.
It never ceases to amaze me, and I know there's limited options when you're in a situation like that, but how willing some people are to trust the people who are threatening your life.
Unknown number of 6 or more armed with automatic weapons at Nakatomi Plaza.
Hey, he's at least gotten some information out. Hopefully someone will hear it and be able to help. Oh, I remember this.
Attention, whoever you are. This channel is reserved for emergency calls only.
No lady, do I sound like I'm ordering a pizza?
One of the great action movie lines ever. It's like, yeah, did you hear what he said? Doesn't sound like kids making something up. Sounds like somebody who knows what they're talking about.
Come the down here and arrest me. Just send the police now.
See if there's a black and white that can do a drive-by.
I don't get her nonchalance on this. I know he could be some kind of nut job. She doesn't know. But he certainly sounds like he knows what he's talking about. And then you hear gunfire. I don't think he's making it up.
2 at Nakatomi Plaza, Century City.
8 Lincoln 30 to dispatch. I'm on my way.
Sergeant Powell, ladies and gentlemen. Reginald VelJohnson. One of the other major stars of this movie. That's all he does to check. He just goes and looks at the building from afar. I mean, he's one man running out of ammo, no shoes, and he's under heavy fire. I think he's doing his best, you know?
He's in the elevator shaft.
Carl has had a vision. He's in the elevator shafts. I mean, firearms are supposed to be durable, but this is definitely not the intended usage. As a grappling hook with not very much slack to go. Not in a million years. Yikes. Holy crap, that's scary. To miss what you're grabbing for, to be falling down an endless shaft, and to barely grab onto something with your fingertips like that. Famous shot.
Come out to the coast. We'll get together. Have a few laughs.
That's totally fair. With all the crap he's been through already, that's totally fair. Yeah. Carl is definitely, I was going to say a shoot first and ask questions later kind of guy. I think he's a shoot first and just never ask questions kind of guy.
Carl, komm, die Polizei! Mach los, Carl!
Yeah, Carl. You got other places to be. Let's remember, folks, that shirt he's wearing used to be white. And it is now very much no longer white.
It's about time.
No signs of disturbance, dispatch.
All right, Officer Winslow. Just kidding. Officer Powell. They did cast him as a lot of cops, in my defense.
Eddie?
I had a feeling you'd be calling.
That guy has a very southern accent for someone who is apparently German. I had a feeling you'd be calling Hans Gruber.
You don't mind if I take a look around, do you? Nah, help yourself.
Very good job acting nonchalant about it. He capped your buddy. I mean, you would think with the gunfire that he would hear it, but they are really, really high up.
Next time you have a chance to kill someone, don't hesitate.
I mean, this guy joins the Takagi club of saying stuff that you shouldn't say.
Thanks for the advice.
See? Maybe you wouldn't have thought of that.
Delightful. For the love.
Yeah, that's a wild goose chase over here at Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah, John just can't catch a break. So, if you're having really, really bad luck, let this be a lesson to you folks. Go ahead and make your own luck. And sometimes that luck looks like a body on a police car.
Welcome to the party, pal!
Yeah, explain that one away. I mean, Sergeant Powell is doing a pretty damn good job driving backwards, all things considered. Sergeant Powell says he needs help. You better damn well show up. Bring all the police cars.
Never thought I'd love to hear that sound.
Yeah, not with as much coke as you have on you.
I didn't get that message.
You are most troublesome for a security guard.
Sorry, Hans, wrong guess.
That's embarrassing. I mean, you really took a shot there, Hans, and it just didn't pay off at all. I mean, come on.
Check on all the others. Don't use the radio. See if he's lying about Marco and find out if anyone else is missing.
Yeah, this definitely seems like the one thing that could piss Hans off is somebody messing with his very delicately laid plan.
Just another American who saw too many movies as a child.
I'm one of those Americans who saw too many movies as a child.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, mother...
History is made. The first yippee-ki-yay, mother...
Sam, look, I'm begging you. This is my story. I am going out there.
This guy is such an asshole from beginning to end.
Eat it, Harvey. 4. Harvey, we're on the air.
Harvey was about to throw hands. Mess up his hair.
He wasn't lying about Marco, and his bag is missing.
He had to detonate.
He did indeed, and now John has a bunch of explosives.
Person who radioed for help can hear me on this channel. Acknowledge this transmission.
You the guy in the car?
What's left of him?
There's a party line, the neighbor's got itchy trigger fingers.
I love their dynamic in this movie. One of my only regrets about the Die Hard franchise is that Reginald VelJohnson didn't play a bigger role. They were great together.
They got missiles, automatic weapons, and enough plastic explosives to orbit Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I wonder if they knew each other back then.
Add all that up, I don't know what the it means, but you got some badass perpetrators and they're here to stay.
I hear you, partner. LA's finest are on it.
Partner right from the beginning. I love the storytelling just in the way he's revealing all this information to him. Al knows somehow that he's some kind of cop, some kind of law enforcement, that he is, as much as he's able to be, being, ill-prepared, an ally on the inside. And from that moment on, they really are partners in this, despite all this other garbage that happens with these other idiots on the force.
I am, sir. Sergeant Powell, Al Powell.
It's Dwayne Robinson, pal. What's the deal here? What are these?
Yeah, Dwayne Robinson in particular is an idiot, a.k.a. the jerk in charge of detention from Breakfast Club.
Powell, has it occurred to you he could be one of the pulling your chain?
I don't think so, sir. In fact, I think he's a cop.
For what purpose? This guy is an idiot. Perfect example of how someone fails upward.
What idiot put you in charge?
You did. When you murdered my boss.
That's a good line right there. She's got some guts. You gotta give her that.
Go on.
We have a pregnant woman out there. I would like permission to move her to one of the offices where there's a sofa.
No, but I'll have a sofa brought out to you. Good enough?
Good enough.
This is smart. Build a little bit of rapport, but also to keep it simple, stay out of his way, make it seem like there are things that are within his interests.
Mr. Takagi chose his people well,
Miss Gennaro.
Yeah, John. How you feel about her using her maiden name now? Might have saved her life, at least for now.
To suffer the anguish of
Argyle has nowhere else to be, apparently.
If there's hostages, how come nobody's come to us with ransom demands?
But what about the body that fell out the window?
Well, who knows? It's probably some stockbroker got depressed.
It's the dumbest thing he said so far. It's absolutely the dumbest thing he said so far. Al should be running this whole damn thing. He's the only one here who has any sense.
Yo, Al.
I'm here, Roy. If you are what I think you are, then you'll know when to listen, when to shut up, and when to pray.
Oh, geez. That is as much of a warning as he can give him. John did kind of mess him up a bit. They might have had at least a little bit of an element of surprise.
Not a creature was stirring except the four assholes coming in the rear in standard 2x2 cover formation.
Yeah, someone's got some military training. Knows how to describe their formation and everything.
We're ready.
Kick ass.
Go!
What better thing to show what a moron he is than his go call is kick ass?
They're shooting at him.
Oh, you think? Is that what those bullets are?
They're shooting at the lights.
Yeah, imagine that. They're actually being strategic.
They're going after the lights.
What an idiot.
They're almost in. Send in the car. Send in the car.
To hammer everything looks like a nail. Unfortunately, everything is not a nail.
Report.
I think the report is that they got shot doing what you told them to do.
The police have themselves an RV.
Yeah, kind of at the last second there. Vehicle was almost in the building.
Oh my god, the quarterback is toast.
That guy enjoys death and mayhem a bit too much. Jeez.
I'll take it under advisement. Hit it again.
Yeah, they could still be alive in there, but not if they hit it with another rocket launcher, probably. Yeah, probably not now. Indeed. I don't know enough about explosives. Is it a bigger explosion if there's more detonators somehow? Yeah, get back, John. Like now. Gonna scorch your face off. Fireball, John. Back up. Fireball. That was not part of Hans's plan.
Holy shit.
Yeah, bartender, huh? They teach him how to do that in bartending school?
Tell me you got that. I got it.
This guy. Not even a thought about if anyone died. Just his story.
I'll do you copy.
Are you all right?
All right's a relative term.
I've got 100 people down here and they're covered with glass.
Who gives a shit about glass?
I am in charge of this situation.
From up here, doesn't look like you're in charge of jack.
From down here, it doesn't look like he's in charge of much either.
Put the other guy back on.
Yeah, shut up and give the radio to Al.
Hey, Roy, how you feeling?
Pretty f***ing unappreciated, Al.
Hey, look, I love you. So you hang in there, man. You hear me?
Yeah, thanks, partner.
That was beautiful, that moment. That's a very well-earned I love you. And the thing where they started calling each other partner from the very beginning, essentially. They could tell that they were on the same page as far as what they're trying to do here.
I negotiate $1 million deals for breakfast. I think I can handle this Euro trash. Hey, frickin' talk, huh?
Spreckensy talk. I'm surprised that Ellis can negotiate his way out of his freaking bed in the morning.
Hope I'm not interrupting.
What does he want?
It's not what I want, it's what I can give you.
Give him another person to make an example of. One that nobody will be too sad about.
You're here to negotiate, am I right?
You're amazing. You figured this all out already.
I give Hans a little bit here. I love him making fun of this guy to his face.
Well, you grab us for some green mail, but you didn't expect some poison pill with Hans. Booby.
He should have taken him out at Booby. You can't come back from looking someone in the face and seriously trying to use the word Booby with him.
I can give him to you.
I wouldn't have believed Ellis for 2 seconds, knowing nothing about him, just looking at him.
My wife is working on our first.
Sure hope I can see him swinging on a jungle gym with Al Jr. someday.
Well, now that's a date.
Yeah, it is criminal that Reginald VelJohnson wasn't more a part of the Die Hard movies.
Mr. Officer John McClane of the New York Police Department.
How did he get that? I don't remember how he got it. I don't remember how he got the information about who he was.
A very special friend who was with you at the party tonight.
Oh, Ellis. I forgot. Never mind.
Hey, John boy.
Ellis?
I know you think you're doing your job, John, and I can appreciate that, but you're just dragging this thing out.
Ellis is one of these guys that doesn't even know what actual confidence looks like. He just projects idiocy, really. The mouse who can't tell that he's surrounded by hungry cats.
I want the detonators, or they're gonna kill me.
What? Again, another example of someone saying something in front of people that he shouldn't. Introducing ideas that he shouldn't.
Babe, put away the gun. This is radio, not television.
Hans, this asshole is not my friend. I just met him tonight.
Again, why would you ever trust people holding you at gunpoint?
How can you say that after all these years, huh, John?
Congratulations, Ellis. You acted your way into a bullet. Absolute idiot. He served his purpose for him. Create more panic.
Did you hear that? He just let the guy die, man. He just gave him up.
He just gave him up? I think he was begging him not to do it.
He did everything he could to save him.
Damn right he did, regardless how stupid he was to do that in the begin with.
Anytime you want to go home, you consider yourself dismissed. No, sir. You couldn't drag me away.
That's right. You get your face out of Reginald VelJohnson's face.
What is it you do wish for, Mr. Gruber?
I have comrades in arms around the world languishing in prison.
Political demands as a smokescreen. That's pretty smart. You get them thinking that you're focused on one particular outcome while you're pursuing your actual one.
When these revolutionary brothers and sisters are free, the hostages in this building will be taken to the roof, and they will accompany us in helicopters to the Los Angeles International Airport, where they will be given further instructions. You have 2 hours to comply.
I mean, you have to give Hans credit. They have laid out a very detailed and specific plan, knowing all of the different responses of law enforcement and just anticipating everything except John.
Hey, pal, you out there?
I'm here, John.
You gotta believe me, there's nothing I could do.
Well, it's gonna be both our asses if you're wrong.
I hear you.
I just love their relationship so much. They're already talking like partners, you know? And obviously John's shaken by it, even though Ellis was an asshole.
D-A-W-N. Sir? Yeah, sir. The FBI's here. Oh.
So at a moment like this, you would think, okay, the FBI's here, maybe this will be better. No, not so much. Not in this case.
I'm Dwayne Robinson, LAPD. I'm in charge here.
Not anymore.
He couldn't even say that with confidence. I mean, don't let it be said that Hans doesn't get down in the trenches and get his hands dirty with the rest of his guys. I mean, he's out there looking for John just like anyone else.
Oh, please, God, no, you're...
I mean, you got to give it to Hans. He did break out this accent pretty damn quick.
Relax, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you!
So when does he know? That's what I wonder. Trying to figure out what Hans does that gives himself away.
Trying to get up on the roof, see if I could signal for help.
Forget the roof. Come on. I said forget the roof. We got people all over.
This is a great scene, the way they have this set up. The kind of competing efforts, him having a gun back there, not knowing. Let me know in the comments if you know the moment you think that John is on to Hans. Is he onto him from the beginning, or does Hans do something to give himself away?
What about John McClane? He's the reason why we have the information we have up until now.
Who is he? He might be a cop.
Might be a cop. How long does it take, even in the 80s, to call and verify that somebody's a New York cop?
You smoke?
Yeah. Thanks.
I mean, does Hans just carry around an American accent? How do you pull that all of a sudden?
You're not one of them.
I'm a cop from New York.
Especially considering he and John have been talking to each other. He has to make it so John can't recognize his voice.
Better being caught your pants down, huh?
It's almost like Hans is played by a great actor named Alan Rickman. He is getting a lot of useful information from this interaction.
I'm John McClane.
Clay. Bill Clay.
And right back again. Hans actually paid attention to people at work in the building.
Spent a weekend at a combat ranch. You know that game with the guns that shoot red paint?
Time for the real thing, Bill.
See, this is the thing I don't get, is he didn't load that gun on purpose. But it certainly looked like he did. So maybe he doesn't know until right now, and that was a test.
Kommt sofort.
He certainly knows now.
Put down the gun and give me my detonators.
Maybe he recognized the voice. Maybe it wasn't good enough.
Hans.
Now.
It's pretty tricky with that accent.
Yeah, he deserves some credit, that's for sure. He just pulled that out of the thin air.
I'm going to count to 3.
Like you did with Takagi. Oops.
I mean, if he was smart, he would have, like, grabbed Hans and taken him hostage. I mean, he had to think quick. They're not going to get very far without their leader. That guy is not going to be walking anymore. Hans has an idea.
Shoot the glass.
I mean, it is an interesting advantage they have. He's barefoot. At least slow him down, or hurt him. That is a lot of broken glass. That's what I was thinking, John. A lot of broken glass. Yeah, we added that up pretty quick. It's going to be rough, John, but kind of out of options.
Smile, Carl. Back in business.
I don't think Carl smiles much anyway, but I think he's still pissed about his brother being killed.
You got something. Tell me you got something.
Just McClane's name, badge number, employment record, vital statistics, and his family's home address.
That's pretty invasive and not terribly helpful in this situation, but, you know, if you're a morally bankrupt local news person, then there you go, I guess.
That man looks really
pissed.
Yeah.
Only John can drive somebody that crazy.
Only John McClane's wife could take comfort in someone being that angry, knowing that it means her husband's still alive. And, oh, John seems like he is really hurting. John is going to need some extra special care on his feet after this.
John McClane, you still with us?
John's having a moment right now, Al, but...
Chalk up 2 more bad guys.
Boys down here will be glad to hear that.
Chalk up 2 more bad guys, but he's also almost bleeding to death.
Put me down for 20.
Hey, pal, you got flat feet?
I don't know if you want to talk about feet right now, John.
Something had to get you off the street.
I had an accident.
Yeah, that's putting it kindly. Had an accident.
I shot a kid.
That's pretty rough.
You know, when you're a rookie, they can teach you everything about being a cop except how to live with a mistake.
Especially a big one like that. That ties back to something that was big when I was young, about toy guns looking too real and stuff, and I don't know. Bad things ended up happening because somebody thinks a kid has a real gun.
Sorry, man.
Hey, man, how could you know?
I feel like anyway.
Yeah, well, that's because you're a halfway decent person, John, and that was a pretty rough moment. But you guys shared it together.
The circuits that cannot be cut are cut automatically in response to a incident. You asked for miracles, I give you DFB.
I mean, this takes extensive research of police and FBI procedure in order to plan something like this. And that kind of thing was way harder back in these days.
Hey, lose the grid or you lose your job.
We have a bunch of macho, no-thinking idiots in charge of making decisions, unfortunately. Ode to Joy. I don't know if Ode to Joy is a Christmas song, but it certainly feels kind of Christmassy in that moment.
Merry Christmas.
Made even more so by that, I'm sure. They just hit the jackpot. They just hit the jackpot because of what you did.
I'm here, John.
I want you to find my wife. Don't ask me how. By then you'll know how. I want you to tell her something.
This is a really tough moment. They've been building to it this whole movie, but it's so well earned.
When things started to pan out for her, I should have been more supportive.
There is something to be said for someone being a jerk early on so that they can realize they're a jerk later on for character growth.
Tell her that she's the best thing that ever happened to a bum like me. She's heard me say I love you 1,000 times. She never heard me say I'm sorry.
Jeez. I didn't remember the emotional punch at this moment. This is really, really good.
You got that, man?
Yeah, I got it, John. But you can tell her that yourself. You just watch your ass and you'll make it out of there. You hear me?
It's very well done. You know, it's still, very much in the action movie trope, but just this idea of him having a real kind of moment of realization that things are not going well, and it's very possible he won't make it out of this, and kind of facing the grim reality of that and letting the emotion play through. You don't see that a lot in action movies.
You let me in right now, or I call the INS.
This guy is a piece of shit.
This is the last time these kids are gonna have to speak.
Oh, don't act like you're doing it for some noble reason. Opportunistic piece of shit. John has been through it. He's bled through all his clothes. His feet are barely usable. This is one of the things that works so well about the John Wick movies, I feel like. They have to struggle and suffer, and it has to be difficult. I feel like he said enough to at least give him a warning, but they probably wouldn't listen anyway.
This is personal.
Yeah, Carl's been waiting for this. Time for the secondary boss fight of this video game / action movie.
You know your mom and dad are very important people.
The very last minute gives away vital information, although it is odd that Hans never looked at under that picture frame this whole time.
Mrs. McClane, honors to make your acquaintance.
That was a weird move out the door like that with another shot into the ceiling. I like how John is still the underdog in this fight, but he's still trash talking anyway.
Lose 20-25% of the hostages. I can live with that.
Oh, well, glad to know you're in this for the right reasons. Being the badass who took down the bad guys.
You're nothing but a common thief.
I'm an exceptional thief, Mrs. McLean. And since I'm moving up to kidnapping, you should be more polite.
Yeah, don't badmouth what kind of thief he is. This is exceptional criminal work here, and he deserves credit for it. Hans Gruber, ladies and gentlemen. That does not look good for Carl. Ooh. You know, Carl, I can't help but notice that you look very dead, which makes me very confused for the end of the movie, but, you know, you let certain things go in action movies.
They took her! Where? The vault! 30th floor!
Yeah, everyone off the roof.
The whole fucking roof is wired to blow! Get down!
Yeah, everyone off the roof. There you go. That's an effective way to go about it. Although, John's about to get himself shot. They're too stupid to even see that he wasn't aiming or shooting at the hostages.
Oh, John, what the f*** are you doing?
It's exactly what I would be saying to myself right now. I don't know if I'd be calling myself John, but you get the idea.
They're coming back down! Load our roof!
I don't think Hans cares about Carl.
I promise you, I'll never even think about going up in a tall building again.
It's a weird promise to make to God in that moment. Smart move, but man, is he run out of time. Ooh. Yeah, that's the other side. You might want to get out of that hose as quickly as possible. Just one crisis trading off for another with him.
Gonna need some more FBI guys.
Brilliant thing to say in that moment. Brilliant. Can really see why you're in charge, you know. I don't think that's what's supposed to happen when an elevator dings.
What is going on?
A hostage situation? A robbery? A lot riding on one bullet. 2 bullets, pardon me. I stand corrected. They do have a lot of, like, just random Christmas stuff laying around, I've noticed. Very sneaky Argyle. Just drive slow and they'll never see you. There's another fly in the ointment, Hans. Hope you don't need any more computers hacked. Ooh, nice shot. Right in the face. John has had enough. Can barely walk. This is supposed to be a vacation.
Hi, honey.
This man is operating on sheer willpower at this moment. He's running out of that. But this was John's plan.
John Wayne does not walk off into the sunset with Grace Kelly.
Scary Cooper, asshole.
I mean, get your movie references right, Hans. Come on. If you're going to threaten somebody.
What was it you said to me before? Yippee-ki-yay, mother.
I mean, it does take on an interesting flair with your accent, Hans. Not quite the same. You guys just sharing a laugh before you shoot each other? Is that how this works? Boom. Nice shot, but a headshot for Hans probably would have been better. And the watch that Ellis wanted you to see so bad. In a very few seconds, Hans went from having everything to having nothing. Just that moment, that's such perfect acting from Alan Rickman. That moment of when he feels the watch go slack and the panic in his face.
Well, I hope that's not a hostage.
I hope that's not a hostage. This guy has the dumbest lines. I think that was the whole writing assignment for his characters. Just give him the dumbest lines. I watched something once, I think, about how they shot that scene. I don't remember, though, how they got that scene with Alan Rickman, because you can see his face so far down, so they had to drop him to some degree. If anyone remembers or knows how they did that, go ahead and tell me. I've forgotten. Wow. It looks like a war zone down there. Literal war zone. With a little bit of holiday cheer. A holiday war zone, if you will. John got one of the fireman's coats. He was drastically underdressed. I hope they gave him some shoes, too. I love this moment. It's going to make me cry. It's going to make me cry. I love this moment. They know already, just looking at each other. They know. They don't have to say anything. Anything. I love that moment. It's like a love story almost, seeing each other across a crowded room, you know? They don't even say anything. They just hug each other. They already know. It's so great. It's so great. One of the greatest moments in this movie.
Alan's my wife, Holly.
Holly McClane.
Yeah, we're going back to McClane for now. I just so bad wanted John to punch this guy.
Interfering with police business.
Yeah, I think he was about to. Okay, I get why they needed this. Well, let's... First of all, Carl just took 3 or 4 shots. He's still going. Damn right, Al. Way to go. That's a little bending of reality for an action movie, though. Carl was hanging there. Gone. But they needed one last scare. And a hero moment for Al. And who can be mad about that? Whoa, killer. Yeah. Al's just ready to shoot at anybody now. Don't kill Argyle. He's had quite a night himself. He's got to explain to his boss where the hell he's been all this time and why the limo's wrecked.
Incredible ordeal. What are your feelings?
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Nice shot.
This is their idea of Christmas. I gotta be here for New Year's.
I mean, sure, Argyle, if you like excitement and don't mind risking your life.
Oh, the weather outside.
And there you go. I mean, they end with a Christmas song. And that's it, folks. The credits roll. Let's go to the wrap-up. Well, no surprise, everyone. Obviously, that was enjoyable. It's a favorite reaction. We already know that I like it. But if you like action movies, it's hard really to do much better than Die Hard. I mean, there's really good other action movies. In fact, even in the Die Hard franchise. And hopefully, if you guys are enjoying this, we'll get around to some of the other Die Hard movies on this channel. Going back to the whole Christmas movie debate. So this is a movie that doesn't necessarily constantly remind you about Christmas. The fact that it's taking place during Christmas. But there are still references here and there. There's funny references using Christmas. There's Christmas stuff all over the place. Like when he kills Carl's brother, I forget his name. You know, there's a plastic Santa and a Santa hat and all this other stuff. He writes a little ho 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 thing on his shirt. Even to the tape at the end that he has the gun taped to his back. It's wrapping tape. It's you know, Christmassy kind of like wrapping tape stuff. So it's definitely a movie that takes place in a Christmas setting and with fairly regular references to Christmas. It just doesn't hit you over the head with it every second because it's an action movie too, and it's trying to tell its story. Is it an enjoyable action movie? Absolutely. I would say the majority of the Die Hard movies are enjoyable. I think Bruce Willis does an amazing job here. I don't know Bruce Willis's career enough to know if this was his first action movie. It's certainly one of the ones he's most well known for, if not the one he's most well known for. I do know, and I remember as a child of the 80s, that Bruce Willis was doing television, I think before this. He was doing Moonlighting, where he played a cop, but it was also somewhat of a kind of a comedic romance type thing going on. I believe he played a cop. It's been a long time since I've seen Moonlighting. But I honestly don't know, was this the beginning of him as an action star? Go ahead and let me know. I've kind of forgotten. Obviously, he went on to do lots of action movies after this. Alan Rickman. I don't know if this is the earliest work I've seen Alan Rickman in. He is amazing in this movie. He's not just kind of a two-dimensional villain. He actually has depth. He has style. His plan is very well thought out. He's anticipated all these kind of steps of what the law enforcement response will be, and it's part of his plan. He has the whole thing worked out, and literally the only thing he hasn't accounted for is this random police officer who happens to be the husband of one of his hostages running around causing havoc for him. And you can tell how much it gets to him. All the rest of the time, even when the cops show up, whatever, he's very calm. Oh, we expected this. Everything is going according to plan. It's only when John McClane's going around destroying parts of his plan that he actually gets agitated. But beyond John and Hans and Holly and Al, and we could throw Argyle in there too. Boy, do they throw a lot of idiots at you in this movie. I mean, it's just idiot after hole. Just the whole rest of the cast beyond those characters is just two-dimensional bad guys and morons who are supposed to be on the side of the good guys. But I guess that's the point, is they're there to highlight our actual heroes. And the two-dimensional henchmen and bad guys are there to highlight the actual brilliance of the leader of this group. At least, you know, the criminal brilliance of the leader of this group. And his programmer guy was certainly entertaining to watch. I mean, he was pretty jovial about people getting killed right in front of him. But there's not much more I can say about it without talking in circles. You're going to be hard-pressed to do better for just a classic 80s or 90s action movie than Die Hard. So obviously, I don't really rate favorites, but for an action movie, Die Hard gets 5 out of 5, I would say. And if you're here and you watched all the way through this with me, I take it you're somebody who enjoys this movie as well. So thank you for stopping by to watch another holiday movie with me. I really appreciate it. This is week 3 of our holiday movies. This is the end of our holiday movies. I'll be back very soon with some new movies going into the new year. For those of you who celebrate, I hope you have a very Merry Christmas. For everyone else, I hope you've had a really fun holiday season. If you'd be so kind, please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe buttons down there. Click the bell so you can see when I'm putting out new videos. So I think that's all for me. Tree?
Merry Christmas!
And I will see you on the next video. Take care.